Hello guys, welcome to another video. This one is paper 221, November 2019. Okay, so let's move on to question number 1. So Nima travels on a business trip. The total cost of a flight is $406 including tax. The cost of the flight excluding tax is $305. So what do we know? We know that the cost is $350 plus tax is $406. This is what we know from the information. Question: calculate the tax as a percentage of $350. So let's first find the tax. So $406 minus $350, that will be $56 in tax. So percentage will be 56 divided by 350 times 100. So here we can use our calculator. So let's do 56 divided by 350 times 100. That will be 16%. That will be your answer for part A. Part B: Nima takes a suitcase of mass 15.5 kg, correct to the nearest 0.5 kg. So we can find the lower and upper bound of this mass. 15.5 plus minus 0.5 divided by 2. So what is 0.5 divided by 2? So 0.5 divided by 2 will be 0.25, which means this will be 15.75 and this will be 15.25 as the lower bound. Part B: she also takes 6 packets, each with mass of 1.2 kg, correct to the nearest 0.1 kg. So one more time, same thing. Let's find the upper and lower bound of this mass. 1.2 plus minus 0.1 divided by 2. So let's do that. 1.2, so 0.1 divided by 2 is this, which is upper bound will be 1.25, lower will be 1.15. Okay, great. So now we have a limit here. The condition: she has the luggage limit of exactly 23 kilograms for the flight. Question: can Nima be certain that the mass of her luggage is below the limit? So how can she be certain? If we're trying to find the upper bound of the total mass, and if the upper bound is lower than 23, she can be certain that it is below the limit. So let's find the upper bound. The upper bound of total mass. So first thing is the luggage. We can take 15.75 plus 6 of the packet, 6 times 1.25 for the upper bound. So we can use our calculator. So 15.75 plus 6 times 1.25, that will be 23.25. So that's the mass, and as you can see, they have a limit of 23. So your answer is no. She cannot be certain because the upper bound of the total mass is higher than 23 kg, which is 23.25. Okay, so that is part B. Moving on to question number C. Nima changes $245 to euros. So the exchange rate is $1 is equal to 0.73 euros. So let's first find out how many euros does she has. So 245 will be 0.73 times 245, and that will give you, calculator again, so 0.73 times 245, that will be 178.85 euros. So now on the trip she spends 124. If she spends 124, how much remains? Remains 178.85 minus 124. So let's use, answer is this, minus 124, that will be 54.85 is remaining. That is euros. When she returns, she changes the remaining euros, which is this much, back to dollars at the rate of this. So $1 is equal to 0.76 euros. So now we have to change 54.85 euros will be 1 over 0.76 times 54.85. So let's find that. So answer is this times 1 over 0.76. That will be 72.17. Question is, calculate the amount of money she receives. Give your answer correct to the nearest dollar. So it will be $72 she will have back. So now moving on to part D. On her next trip, Nima hires a car. So she gets a car. She drives a total of 657 km in the car. The car uses fuel at a rate of 4.3 liters per day. So let's write this down. 4.3 liters for every 100 kilometers. So now it says Nima pays 1.29 per liter of fuel. The cost is 1.29 per liter. Now we have to find the amount she spends on fuel. So let's first find out how many liters of fuel did she spend. So 100 kilometers is equal to 4.3 liters. So now we have 657 km will be 4.3 divided by 100 times 6.57. So let's do that. 4.3 divided by 100 times 657. That will be 28.251 liters that she will use on this trip. Now we know that 1 liter costs $129. So now 28.251 liters will cost 1.29 times 28.251. Okay, let's do that. Times 1.29. That will be 36.443. So your answer for part D will be $36.44. So now the last part is part E. Nima stays in the hotel for 7 nights. 7 nights. This is her hotel bill. So the item and the cost. So 7 nights at per night this much. So it means that 7 nights cost this much. What is the cost of 1 night? So we do 805 divided by 7. It will be 115. So that's the first line, 115. Okay, and this one we don't know, and we don't know this as well. So here we see that total including tax is at 6.5% is this much. So let this before tax equal to x. We need to find the value of x here. So what do we know? We know that this represents what? This represents what is 6.5%? 6.5 divided by 100, that will be 0.065, right? So this cost here represents 1.065x. This is this cost. So find the value of x. We will do 996.84 divided by 1.065. That will be 936. So the value of x is 936. So this is 936. I hope you can understand where I got this, because this is very important here to find this answer. As you can see, this is the cost after applying tax, which is 6.5%, which is this much, which means you have to add this to the initial cost before tax to obtain this. That's why I have 1.065x, which was the initial amount, equal to this cost. X will be 936. So now let's find this value. So for this plus something equal to this. So what is this, right? So let's find that out. So I know that 805 plus, let's say this is Dina, equal to this. So Dina will be this minus this. So 936 minus 805, that will be 131. So now we have had 4 dinners. So what is the cost of 1 dinner? So 131 divided by 4, that will be 32.37. 32.75 actually. So that will be the cost for the 4 dinners for each. And that was question number 1. Moving on to question number 2, part A. One afternoon there were 200 visitors to a library. The table summarizes the time in minutes each visitor spent in the library. So we have groups, and this is the time spent and number of people who spent those times in the library. Part 1. In the grid, draw a histogram to represent this data. So when we have to draw a histogram, we have to know the frequency density. And frequency density is defined as the frequency divided by class width. So let's find the class width. So let's find out. So on top here, let's write class width. So this is 20. This is 20 as well, because we do this minus this. This is 20 as well. This is 30, and this is 90. And if you want to find the frequency density, you have to do frequency divided by class width. So let's use our calculator so we have the right answers here. So 26 divided by 20, that will be 1.3 for the first one. Second one is 7.6 divided by 20, that will be 3.8. We have 56 divided by 20, that will be 2.8. We got 24 divided by 30, that will be 0.8, and the last one will be 18 divided by 90, that will be 0.2. So now we have the frequency density. We can draw the histogram, but first we have to label the axis. Okay, so we have numbers from 1.3 till 3.8. So let's do that here. Let's call this 1, call this 2, call this 3, and call this 4. So for the first class is class 0 to 20, it is 1.3. So class 0 to 20, it is 1.3. So this is 1.1, 1.2, 1.3. So let's join those 2 points to find the first histogram. Okay, moving on to the other one. For class 20 to 40, it is 3.8. So 20 to 40, it is 3.8. So this is 3, 3.5, and 3.8 will be here. Okay, let's join the points. So that's the straight line here. And that will be, okay, so, yep, here you go. That's the second class. And then 40 to 60 will be 2.8. So 40 to 60, 2.8 will be here. Let's join those two together as well. Okay, and we have 60 to 90 will be 0.8. So 60 to 90. 60 to 90, 90 will be here. Will be 0.8 will be. This is 0.8. This is 0.8. Okay, so let's join the points to form the other bar. And the last one, we have 90 to 180 will be 0.2. So 90 to 180, 0.2 is here. Okay, if you join those two together, you will have the proper answer. Okay, and that's it for the, so this is one more line, and that's it for the histogram of this table. Part B, work out the percentage of these visitors who spent more than 40 minutes in the library. So pretty easy. So this is everyone who spent less than 40 minutes. More than 40 minutes will be this plus this and plus this. So let's do that. 56 plus 24 plus 18 will be 98% spends more than 40 minutes in a library. So now the percentage we have to do is 98 divided by 200, because we have 200 people in the library, times 100 for the percentage. So let's use our calculator here. Divide by 200 times 100, that will be 49% of the people. That was question number 2, part 1. Now moving on to part 2. Part 2 we have Mario recorded the number of books borrowed by each of the 200 visitors to the library. His results are shown in the table, number of books and frequency. So you have to find the median for part 1. So when you have to find the median, you can also find the cumulative frequency. So that will be 17. So you have to do 17 plus 47, that will be 64. 64 plus 42, 106. 106 plus 28, that will be 134 plus 32, 166 plus 21, 187, and it should be 200 people in total. So now for the median, we have to find it's the mid value as half times 200 plus 1, which is, so 201 divided by 2, which will be the 100.5 element. So this is between 100 and 101th element. So let's find out where do we have these two elements. It will be in this range from 1 to 2, so it will be here. So the value here is 2 and 2. What is the average of those two? 2 plus 2 divided by 2 will be 2. Your answer will be 2 for part 1. Now part B, we have to find the mean. So we first have to find the sum. Mean is sum divided by 200. Why it is 200? Because we have 200 visitors. So the sum is 0 times 17. Let's do it here. 0 times 17 is 0, plus 1 times 47, plus 2 times 42, 3 times plus 3 times 28, plus 4 times 32, plus 5 times 21, plus 6 times 13. The sum is 526. So 526 divided by 200, that will be 2.63. But if you do this on the exam, make sure that you show the multiplication in this space here, because you will get marks for showing your work. But the answer should be 2.63. Now moving on to part 3, one of the visitors is selected at random. So find the probability that this visitor has borrowed more than 4 books. So let's see, more than 4 books is these two, which means this plus this. So that will be 21 plus 13 over 200. That will be 34 over 200, which is 17 over 100. That will be your answer for part 3. Now part 4, 2 visitors, let's call them V1 and V2, are selected. Find the probability that only one of them borrowed 6 books. As you can see, the people who borrowed 6 books is only 13. So in total we have 200 people. And let's say the first one borrowed more than 6 books. That will be 13 over 200. And the other one borrowed less than 6 books. That will be the rest, which is 200 minus 13 is what? That will be 187. So the rest will be a 187 divided by 199, because the first guy has already chosen, so what's remaining, it is 199 people. So now you have to say, oh, it can be the first guy took only it took less than 6 books. It will be 187 divided by 200 times the second guy is the guy who chose the 6 books. So if you do that, you will have 13 divided by 200 times 187 divided by 199 plus 187 divided by 200 times 13 divided by 199. That will be 0.12216. So your answer will be correct to 4SF. It should be 0.1222. That is your answer for part 4. I hope you understand that we're actually looking at them one by one. So it can be this one who took more than, this one took 6, or it can be this one who took 6. So one by one case. In the first case, this is the chance, or it is plus, and this is the second case. So we have to add both to find this answer, which will be 0.1222. That is question number 2. Let's move on to question number 3. So here we have shape A and B are drawn on the grid. As you can see, we have A here and B here. Now part A, describe fully the enlargement that maps A onto B. So we have to find the enlargement that maps A onto B. So the first thing we can do is we can connect the points together. So this becomes this point, so let's connect them using a line, a straight line. It will be about on this line, right? How about this one? This one becomes this one. Let's join these ones together. So make sure that so this point becomes this point, and the next one is this one becomes this one. Okay. So you can see already they join at this point here. This is the point 7, 1, which will be the center of enlargement, if that makes sense. Okay, so we can just write this here. The next thing we can find is the scale factor. So let's count. This is 1 square. It becomes 2 square, which means the scale factor is 2. So let's write this down. Enlargement is, so the transformation, so the enlargement has a scale factor of 2 and center, as we saw here, 7, 1. So that's the answer for this part. Okay, so now moving on to part B. Shape A is mapped onto shape C by a rotation of 90 degrees clockwise about the center 1, 0. So first thing, let's find where is the center 1, 0. So 1, 0 will be here. That's the center. So we have to rotate this by 90 degrees clockwise. So as you can see, these 2 points are directly in this line, which means if you count 1, 2 up, you get this point. You have to count 1, 2 here, so you get this point, and this point becomes this point. So we have the base, and if you follow this trend, you find this point has this here, which means this will be here, and this one, if you count 1, 2, 1, 2, it will be here. So here we have it. This will be our image of shape C. If you join this one to this, join this one to this, and this one to this, it will be C, rotation at the point 1, 0. You could also use the formula, which is transformation times object, you get image. So you can find the transformation matrix of clockwise, and then make sure that you minus the center at first, and then you find the image. You add by the center to find these coordinates. So this one is much simpler. You can just find this by intuition to find where it is. Okay. Moving on to part C. Part C, we have transformation P is represented by the matrix. So this is the matrix. P maps A onto D. Draw and label D. So we know that transformation object becomes image. So let's find the image. So this we know it is 0, -1, -1, 0. So what are the coordinates of the object? Let's find out. So A has this point here. Let's start here, I guess. Oh, yep, here, which is 1, 2. The first point is 1, 2. Second point is 1, 3. So 1, 3. Third point is 3, 3. And fourth point is 2, 2. So that's all the 4 points of A. If you multiply them, what do you have? You will have 0, -2, 0, -3, 0, -3, and -2. This one will be minus 1, minus 1, minus 3, and minus 2. So now let's go back to the graph and plot these points. The first point is minus 2, minus 1. It will be minus 2, minus 1. It will be here. The other one will be minus 3, minus 1. So minus 3, minus 1 is here. And the next one will be minus 3, minus 3. So minus 3, minus 3 will be here. And the last one will be minus 2, minus 2. It will be minus 2, minus 2. So let's join the points to form the other shapes. So we have to verify. This is shape D. So we have the shape. And the question tells you that describe fully the single transformation P. So what is this transformation which maps A onto D? So as you can observe here, the point has been flipped and has become negative. And this one, it will be actually, if you look this way, it will become a reflection in this line. And what is the equation of this line? It is the line y equal to minus x. So you will write P is a transformation or reflection in the line y equal to minus x. That will be your answer for part 2, and that is your question number 3. Moving on to question number 4, we have volume of a cone is 1 over 3 pi r square h. Curved surface area of a cone is pi r l. The diagram shows a post gate. So this is the shape of the post gate. It is made in the shape of a cylinder, and a cone on top. Okay. The cylinder and the cone each have diameter 8. So when the diameter is 8, it means the radius is 4. Just know that. And then you have the height of the cylinder is 95 given to us, and the height of the cone is 15, which is this height. Good. Part A, calculate the volume of the gate post. So how do you find the volume of the gate post? As you can see, as we have here, it is a cylinder and a cone. So volume of gate post, it is volume of cylinder, which is this one, plus volume of cone. Let's call cylinder CY, cone is CO. So let's first find the volume of the cylinder. So VCY, we have a formula for that. It is pi r square h. So pi times r, what is r? Is 4 square times h. So the height is 95 for the cylinder. So now let's simplify this. You can use your calculator for this one. So you will have pi times 4 square times 95. That will be 4775.22. Okay, so 4775.22. And now find the volume of the cone, VCO. It is given to us here as 1/3 pi r square h. So let's do that. 1/3 pi r square h. So 1/3 is 1/3. Pi, r is 4. H here is 15 for the cone. So replace 15 here. And then use our calculator again to find this value. So 1/3 times pi times 4 square times 15. That will be 251.327. So 251.327. So what is the volume of the gate? It is these two add together. So we have 4775.22 plus 251.327. That will be 5026.55. Okay, so that will be your answer for part A. Let's write this down. 5026.55. Now part B tells you, show that the total curved surface area of the gate post is this much. So what is the total curved surface area. So it is the surface area of this cylinder. So area of cylinder plus area of cone, right? So how do you find this? Let's do one by one, which is area of the curved surface of the cylinder. It will be this surface, which is around. That will be 2 pi RH. So 2 pi, R is 4, and H is 95. That will be how much? Let's do that. 2 times pi times 4 times 95, that will be 2387.61. So 7.61. So now how do you find this one? We have to use this formula. So we have to find L. L is a slant height here, this one. We know this is 4, we know this is 15. So we have to use the Pythagoras theorem to find L. We know L square is equal to 15 square plus 4 square, which means L will be square root of those two. So what is that? 15 square plus 4 square, 241. Okay, so that's the value of L. So now let's find the area of L, of the cone. It is given to us as pi r L. So replace pi r L. Pi is pi, R is 4, L is square root of 241. Okay, 241. So what do we have? So pi times 4 times square root of 241. That will be 195.0825. So now the area will become, if you add those two, so you add 2387.61, that will be 2582.69. Now you have to give your answer correct to 3 significant figures. So 1, 2, 3, this one is less than 5, so it becomes 0. So your area will be 2580 centimeters square. Okay, this is your answer for part B. Now moving on to part C. It says that, this is very important here, a geometrically similar gate post has a total height of 150. So it is similar, has a total height of 150. Let's call this one as, let's call its name B. B has a height of 150 centimeter. And let's call the first one A. What is the height of A? The height of A is 95 plus 15. So we have A that we know, which is 95 plus 15, which is a height of 110 centimeter. So the question is, calculate the total curved surface area of this one, of B. So we have to find the ratio of AB. So B is 150 and A is 110. So we can cut the zero off. It will be 1115. So that is the ratio of their height, right? Height, the unit of height will be centimeter, but we are interested in the area, which has unit centimeter square. So how do you convert this to square? We have to square it. Same thing, square this side and square this side. This will be 121 and this will be 225. So it means that the area of A and B has a ratio of 121 to 225. Now from the previous answer, we have found the area of A is equal to 2580. Let's write that again. 2580. So we need to find this value. So which means 121 represents 2580 centimeters square. How much will 225 represent? It will become 2580 divided by 121 times 225 to find your answer. So 2580 divided by 121 times 225, it will be 47975.2. So your answer will be, this will be representing the area of B. So 479.7.52. So here it didn't tell you to give your answer to any SF, so you can leave this as your answer for the part C. And that will be question number 4. Question number 5, part A, we have x squared plus 7x minus 13 equal to x plus a squared plus b. So we have to find the value of a and b. So as you can see, what happened here was we have to complete the square of this one. So let's try to do that. So we have x squared plus 7x minus 13. So the first thing we check is, what is the coefficient of x squared? It is 1, so that's good. So if it is 1, we can proceed to step 2. Step 2 will be to write this and this, leave some space here, minus 13, and we'll see what happens. So we have to add a number here and minus the same number here. So the number we add will be this divided by 2, which is 7 divided by 2 square. So if you add something, we have to minus the same thing to make it equivalent. Okay, so here we have this, which means this part is this part, which is x plus 7 over 2 square minus 13 minus 49 over 4. So let's simplify that. What do we have? We have x plus 3.5 square minus, so let's do minus 13 minus 49 over 4. That will be minus 25.25. If you compare, you will see that a is equal to this, which is 3.5, and b is equal to minus 25.25. And that is your answer for part 1. Now part B, hence, when you say hence, you have to use the information above, solve this equation. So this plus this equal to 0. It is the same as saying x plus 3.5 square minus 25.25 is equal to 0. So it means x plus 3.5 square is 25.25, and then let's continue here, which is x plus 3.5 is equal to plus minus square root of 25.25. X is minus 3.5 plus minus 25.25. So let's do that. So first one will be minus 3.5 minus square root of 25.25. That will be minus 8.52. And the next one will be minus 3.5 plus square root of 25.25. That will be 1.52. So these two will be the answers for this question. Part B, simplify this fraction. We will take one by one. So the top is, as you can see, it is 2 square x square minus 3 square. So we have 2x square minus 3 square, which is 2x minus 3, 2x plus 3. Right. How about this one? We have 2x square minus 11x plus 12. We have to factorize them. What is 2x? 2x is 2. Sorry, what is 2x square? It is 2x times x. What is 12? 12 has factors of, can be 1 times 12, can be 2 times 6, can be 3 times 4. So now we have to choose two numbers here to put here to get minus 11. How can we do that? So we have to do by trial. So we can put 4 here and we put 3 here. So minus minus. So 2x times minus 4 will be minus 8. Minus 8 minus 3 will be minus 11, which is good. So now let's replace this back in the fraction. We have 2x minus 3, 2x plus 3 divided by 2x minus 3, x minus 4. This will be go. What remains will be this over this, and this will be your answer for this part. So it is important you know how to factorize this. It is only a quadratic equation, but if you don't know how to factorize this, you can always use the formula, which is minus b plus minus square root of b squared minus 4ac divided by 2a. So if you don't know how to do this, you can always use the formula. You will find the answer to this and this. Okay, so that was question number B. Move on to part C. So now we have solved this equation. How do you solve this? So we have to actually do the LCM for those two first. So what do I mean? I mean that when you look at this, the base are different. You have to make them have the same base. So let's look at this part first. So let's multiply the base. X plus 4 times x minus 1. And then we cross multiply. We have 2x, x minus 1 plus 6, x plus 4. Okay. So let's try to simplify that. What do we have? We will have 2x squared minus 2x plus 6x plus 24 over, simplify this, we have x squared minus x plus 4x minus 4. That will be 2x squared plus 4x plus 24 divided by x squared plus 3x minus 4. So this thing here is equal to 2. As you can see, equal to 2. You can cross multiply. So we have 2x squared plus 4x plus 24 equal to 2x squared plus 6x minus 8. So 2x squared cut. Let's bring the x over here. We will have 6x minus 4x. Anyway, 24 plus 8. Bring this one over here. So become 2x equal to 32. X will be 32 divided by 2, which is 16. And your answer for part C will be 16. And that is question number 5. Moving on to question number 6. So these are the first 4 patterns in a sequence made using counters. So we have 1, 2, 3, and 4. Part A. Complete the table for the patterns in this sequence. So we have 1, 2, and 3 given to us. Find 4. Count. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 4 times 6 will be 24. So this one, what can I expect for this one? So we have to observe that every time it is increasing by, so plus 5 and plus 7 plus 9. So what do you expect here? Plus 11. The value here will be 35. Okay, that is part A. Now part B. Find an expression in terms of n for the number of counters in pattern n. So if this was n, what do you have here? So this comes with some observation. You can see that here we have 1 times 3, 2 times 4, 3 times 5, 4 times 6, 5 times 7. So what does it mean? It means that here we have 1 times 1 plus 2. Here we have 2 times 2 plus 2. And here we have 3 times 3 plus 2. So what's happening every time? Every time we're taking this number here times the same number plus 2. So same number times 2 plus 2. So which means here we have n times n plus 2. So that is your nth term for this question. That will be n times n plus 2. So which means that a term will look like this. So if you have a sixth term will be 6 times 6 plus 2 will be 8. Seventh term will be 7 times 9. Eighth term will be 8 times 10. As you can see, there's a difference of 2 between the two numbers. Moving on to part C. Ken has a bag of this much counters. He makes the largest possible pattern in the sequence pattern P. Find the value of P. So this one you can only do by trial. So you have to find the value of n that will be closest to 1358. It will need to be less or equal to this value. So what n can you use here? You have to use this, you can try using your calculator to find the possible values that will go here. So what two numbers which have a difference of 2 can multiply to get this? So we can try 25 times 27. That is too far away. So we can try 30 times 32. Still not enough. We can try 34 times 36. Almost there. How about we try the next term, 35 times 37. Almost there. So let's write this down. It's pretty close. So 35 times 37 is 1295. Let's try the next term. 36 times 38, it will be 36 times 38, it will be 1368. Okay, too bad. Here we have only 58. 68 is too much. So we have to go with this one. So it means n equal to, which is p here, 35 and 37. So this is the value of p. P will be 35 to get this value. So now part 2, he uses all of the remaining counters to make another pattern from the sequence. Pattern Q. Find the value of Q. So let's find the remaining counters. It will be, we take this number minus this to find the remaining counters. So 1358 minus 1295. So 1358, 1295, that will be 63. So 63 has factors 7 times 9. So as you can see, these two make a perfect match for this equation. So the value of Q will be 7. And that's it for question number 6. Moving on to question number 7, we have P, Q, R, S are points on the circle. So P, Q, R, S, they are points on this circle. Now we have PXR. PXR is a straight line, and QXS are straight line as well. Part A, show that triangle PQX, so PQX is similar to triangle SRX. So how do you show they are similar? You can show that all the angles are equal. So by showing that, you can show these two are similar. So what do we know here? So the first thing we know is that since these two angles are vertically opposite, let's call them angle A, they are same. So first thing, we have angle PXQ. So PXQ equal to angle SXR because they are vertically opposite to each other. That's the first one. And then the next one, if you know this angle, let's call it B. As you can see, B is on the same arc as this angle, which means this will be same as this. So we have angle PQR. So let's say PQX equal to angle. So this one is XRS because they are on the same arc. Angle on the same arc. Okay, and the last one, pretty easy. Since we know two angles of the triangle are the same, so by derivation we know that the sum of all the angles is 180. This will be, let's call it C. So C will be 180 minus A minus B. So same thing here. Remaining will be C because it is 180 minus A minus B. So your answer for the final part will be angle QPX. So QPX is equal to angle angle XSR because we know that 180 minus A minus B is equal to C as shown above. So by proving these three, we prove that triangle PQX is similar to triangle SRX. That is part A. Now part B, px is equal to 8.1, qx is equal to 6.3. Let's label this down. So we have px equal to 8.1, so px is this length, which is 8.1. qx is 6.3, qx is this one, 6.3, and sx is 4.5. Okay, so we have three lengths given to us. So now moving on to part 1 question. Find the length of Rx. Where's Rx? Rx is this one. It is the side opposite C. So we have to use proportionality to find the side of Rx. So Rx, so let's write this here. As you can see, it is the side opposite to angle C is Rx, and side opposite to angle C here will be 6.3. So we say Rx over 6.3 is equal to, this is the side opposite B, so B will be 4.5 over 8.1. So Rx will be, we have to bring this here. We can use our calculator. So we get 4.5 divided by 8.1 times 6.3. That will be 3.5. Rx will be 3.5 centimeters. So let's write this here. Of course, you have to show this work in the section below to get your mark. But I was just showing here so we can see the shape at the same time. So now part 2. Find the ratio of the area of triangle PQX and PSX. So let's find that. Where is PQX? PQX is this triangle. And PSX, where's PSX? PSX is this one. So we have to find the ratio of this one compared to this one. So how can we do this? So we have to observe the two triangles. We notice that this triangle is part of this bigger triangle. So both are part of the big triangle PQR. So they have the same height but different base. So we can only compare the base. So as you can see, SX is 4.5 and XQ is 6.3. So the ratio will be 6.3 for the big triangle and the small one will be 4.5. So we have to use ratio. So we can do using the calculator. So let's do 4.5 divided by 6.3. That will be 5 over 7. So that will be 5 here and that will be 7 here. So PQX will be 7, the ratio, and PXS will be 5. So that's how you find the ratio of those two triangles. So you just take one side of the triangle and compare them, the same base, because here we don't know which one is, we don't know if they are similar or not, but we know that they are from the same big triangle, PQR, and we take height on this triangle. It's the same for both triangles, so we compare the length of the base. That's the only thing comparable. So one it is 4.5 and one it is 6.3. So we compare these two. We find out they're in the ratio of 7 to 5, which means the ratio of the area is 7 to 5. And that is question number 7. Question number 8. Rectangle ABCD has area of 80 centimeters square. So ABCD has area of 80 centimeters square. Triangle PCQ. So PCQ is removed from one corner of the rectangle. Now we have BQ equal to DP equal to 4. So this is 4 and this is 4 here. And also we have AB equal to X. This is X and the whole thing here is X as well, which means this is X minus 4. Question part A. Write down an expression in terms of X for CP. So where is CP? CP is this one, so easy. X minus 4. Explain why CQ is this. So how do you find CQ? As we can see, we have area which is 80 centimeters square. So area of rectangle which is length times width is 80 centimeters square. So what is the length? The length is X. Okay, length is X times the width, what it is. Width is 4 plus CQ equal to 80. So now if we expand this, what do we have? We have 4x plus CQx equal to 80. So we have to make CQ the subject of formula. So CQx will be 80 minus 4x. So CQ will be 80 minus 4x divided by x. That will be 80 divided by x minus 4. So here you have it. CQ is equal to 80 divided by x minus 4. Okay. Now question part C, show that the shaded area is given by this. So what is this area here? It is area of this rectangle minus area of this triangle. So let's write this down. We know the area of rectangle is 80. We need to find the area of triangle. So how do you find this? We know that it is half times base. What's the base? The base is CQ, which is here 80 over x minus 4 times height. Height is x minus 4. So let's find that. So if you expand those two, you will have 80 minus 320x over x minus 4x plus 16. So this will become half 96 minus 320 over x minus 4x. Okay, so if we bring this in, we will have 48 minus 160 over x minus 2x. So now we have to bring this down, which is 80 minus this. So what do we have? Expand. 80 minus 48 will be 32, becomes plus 160x plus 2x. So y is equal to this, as it is shown as required here. That is part C. Now we're going to do the part D of the question. Now part D of this question, complete the table for y equal to 32 plus 2x plus 160 over x. So we just have to replace the value of 16 in this equation. So let's do that. We have 32 plus 2 times 16 plus 160 divided by 16. That will be 74 for the value here. Okay, so now we have to draw the graph, as you can see, for the points between 4 and 20. So 4 and 20. So let's draw the graph. So the first point is 480. So 480 will be here. Next one will be 70.7, sorry, 6, 70.7. So 6 will be here, 70.7. So we have 5 square represent 2. So 1 square will be representing, let's do that, 2 divided by 5, that will be 0.4. Okay, so 1 square is 0.4 basically. So we have to find the value of 70.7. So 70 is here. So 70.4, 70.8, it will be just below that. It will be about this line. Okay, so next one will be 868. So 8 is here, 68 is here, easy. Next one is 1068. So 1068 will be here as well. And the next one will be 1269.3. 1269.3. Whereas 69 will be here. So 0.3 will be, so 68.8, 69.2.3 will be about here. 1471.4. So 14 is here, 71.4. That will be 71 is here, 0.4 will be here. 16 we have 74. 74 is here. And 18 will be 76.9. 76.9 will be That's 77, so it'll be about here. And the last one will be 20, 80. So 20 will be 80, the top one. So now let's try your best to join all the points together. So this will be. So try your best to make the line smooth, and the curve need to pass to every point. Make sure you can do that properly. I'm using a pen here, so if you are using a pencil, make sure that the line passes to every point properly. Okay, so that was part E. Now F, use a graph to find the minimum possible shaded area. So as you can see here, it will be about this point. So let's find that. The area will be about here, which is the value of, if you count, is 1 square, 2, 3, 4 square, which will be 4 times 0.4. So 0.4 times 4, because 1 square is 0.4, plus 66, that will be 67.6. Your answer will be 67.6 centimeters square will be the minimum possible value of the area. So that was question part D, and let's move on to the next question. Moving on to question number 9. The diagram shows the positions of 3 forms. We have A, B, and C. So this is the length of AB, AC, and BC given to us. Question part 1. Show that BAC, so BAC, we have to find this angle here, let's call it small a, is equal to 44 degrees. So here, since we know the 2 sides, we know all the 3 sides of this triangle, we can use the cosine rule. So cosine rule is here. Cos of the angle A is equal to the sum of these 2 sides, which is the sum of the squares minus the square of this one, divide by 2 times this and this side. That will be cos A. If you want to find the value of A, you have to do cos A is cos inverse of A, and this will be the answer inside. So let's find that. Let's use our calculator. So here we have, let's do it here. So 550. So 520 square plus 950 square minus 680 square divided by 2 times 520 times 950. That will be 0.719. Cos inverse of that, it will be 44.017. So 44.017. Now you answer correct to 1 decimal place. It will be 44.0 degrees, shown as required. Okay, part B. Calculate the bearing of A from C. Okay. So now we have to know which angle, what angle are we looking for. So let's draw a line, the north line at the C point. So here we have that. That's the north line. And let's extend this line as well. And these 2 lines are in the same direction. So we are trying to find the bearing of A from C. So from C, we have to find this angle. We know this angle here is 180. How about this angle? So we observe that this line and this line are in the same direction. So the alternate angle here will be equal to this angle. So what is the size of this angle? It will be 125 plus 44. That will be 169. So this is 169. So what is this big angle? It will be 180 plus 169. So 180 plus 169, what do you get? So 180 plus 169 will be 349. So the angle will be 349 degrees for part B. So now we can move on to part C. So form A and form B are joined by the straight track AB. As you can see here, we have a straight track AB join form A and form B. Now we have Amira walks along the track from A at a speed of 4.6 km per hour. So she was walking from A on this line at 4.6 km per hour. Question is, calculate the time it takes for Amira to walk from A to the point that is closest to form C. So when you see closest distance, it's always the perpendicular distance. So just know that every time you see the closest or the shortest distance, is always the perpendicular distance. So let's find that. Let's see what it means. The question means that if she walks on this line, let's find the point on the line. Let's find the distance first to see where is the shortest distance. So it's always the line which is perpendicular to this. It will be about here. Let's join them together. We'll see what do we have. So we have this. Joining this point, it will be right angle to this line. Let's call this point X. So we know that she walks from A to X, and the question is we have to find how long she takes to walk to X. So let's draw this drawing on this side so we have a better understanding. So I will just take this, I will put this on this side so we know what's happening on the same page. This is A and this is X, and this is the point C, and this is AX, right? So we need to find this distance so we can find the time it takes. So we know that this is angle A, which is 44 degrees, and this is 90 degrees, and this is given to us as 520. So we need to find the length of AX. So it is a right angle triangle. We can use the rule of SOHCAHTOA. So we know the hypotenuse. So hypotenuse, we're trying to find the adjacent side, which means we have to use cosine. So cos of 44 degrees equal to AX over 520. So AX will be this times this. So let's do that. Cos of 44 times 520, that will be 374.057. That's in meters. Okay, so now her speed is what? The speed is 4.6 kilometers per hour. So let's convert this to kilometers. It will be AX is equal to 0.374. So we can just write this down to 3 decimals. Find the speed. So we know that it takes 1 hour to do 4.6 km. So 4.6 km to be 1 hour. So how long does it take? She will take to do this km. It will be 1 divided by 4.6 times 0.7374 hours. So let's find that. So 1 divided by 4.6 times 0.374 hours, it will be 0.0813 hours. If you times 60, it will become 4.878 minutes. So we take minutes here, we take off, we minus 4, we have 0.878 minutes. So we times 60 to find seconds, it will be 53 seconds. 53 to round it up. So this will be your answer for question part C. Moving on to part D, we have a helicopter hovers vertically above B. So we have a point B here, and above, straight above, we have a helicopter. Okay, the angle of elevation of the helicopter from A, so let's say A is here, this is A, this will be 90 because it is vertically above on the point B. It says the angle of elevation is 10.7. So we know that the length of AB, it is given to us as 950. Okay, so the question is calculate the angle of elevation of the helicopter from C. So C will be somewhere about here. C also goes to B, and then we have to find we have to find this angle. Let's call it theta. So how do you find this angle? So we first have to find the height HB. Let's call it H, height H. So how do you find H? So here we have right angle triangles. It is pretty easy. We have to use SOHCAHTOA. So we know the adjacent. We have to find the opposite side. We have to use tan. So tan of 10.7 will be equal to, opposite side will be H divided by 950 for AB. So H will be equal to, so tan of 10.7 times 950, that will be 179.5. That's the height, which is 179.5. So now we have to find this angle here. Let's use a different color. So this is also a right angle triangle. So let's take this out. We have here, same thing. This is C, this is B, and this is H. The height is given to us as 179.5. We want to find this, and we know this one. This is given to us as 680, and we want to find this angle. So same thing, we use SOHCAHTOA. So we want to find this angle. We know this side, which is the opposite side, and this is the adjacent side. So tan theta will be equal to 179.5 divided by 680. So theta will be tan inverse of this answer. Theta will be what? So let's find out. 179.5 divided by 680, and tan inverse of the answer, we will have 14.8 degrees. So your answer for part D will be 14.8 degrees for this angle theta. And that's all for question number 9. Moving on to question number 10. So here we have this graph, and we have line L and point Q and P. So part 1, calculate the length of PQ. So let's find the point P. P is the point -4 -3, and the point Q will be 3, 5. Okay, so what is the length of PQ? We have to use the formula, which is square root of this minus this. So 3 minus 4 square plus 5 minus 3 square, which is equal to 7 square plus 8 square, which is equal to, let's use our calculator here. So 7 square plus 8 square, that will be 113. And square root of that, we get 10.6 centimeter to 3 SF. Now part B, show that the equation of a line L is this. So line L is this line. So let's find 2 points on the line. So the first point I can see is this point, and the other is this one. So the first point is 1, 0, and this will be -2, 1. So let's find the gradient of the line. So 2 points. The first point is 1, 0, and -2, 1. So the gradient will be y2 minus y1, that will be 1. x2 minus x1, that will be -3. Okay, so let's use this point. This is x, y, so we have y divided by x minus 1 will be this. So we have to cross multiply. We have minus 3y equal to x minus 1. So if we bring x over here, we have minus 3y minus x will be equal to -1. Now if you multiply everyone by -1, we have 3y plus x equal to 1, shown as required here. Same equation of L. Moving on to part C. Line M is perpendicular to line L and passes to the point P. Find the equation of line M. So we know that the gradient of L is -1/3. So from this we can find the gradient of M, which is equal to 3. It will be the negative of reciprocal of gradient of L. So that's how you find the gradient of line M. It will be 3. So now we know the equals to the point P. So P is a point, minus 4, minus 3, as seen on the graph before. That will be x, y. So x minus 3 divided by, y minus 3 divided by 4x minus 4 equal to 3. So we cross multiply, we have y plus 3 equal to x, so equal to 3x plus 12, which means y equal to 3x plus 12 minus 3, y equal to 3x plus 9. So this will be your equation for the line M. And that is the last question of this paper. If you guys have any questions, leave a comment down below, or any requests, leave a comment as well. I'll get back to you as soon as possible. Thank you for watching.